First back, you get the brownie points.
Yay.
Are you in Kansas City, Judy?
No, that's just a picture. It's
Oh.
virtual.
It fooled me because I didn't see the wonkiness at all. So
I didn't either.
A little, oh, there we go. There was a bit.
yeah, barely. Yeah, that's a good one for background.
Yeah.
There.
I thought maybe you had those pictures in one of the rooms in your house.
When we were there at one trip, I took that picture and I never knew I'd be using it like this. Whatever. But I thought it was fitting for Alpha Delta Kappa.
Nice. Yeah.
Correctly. You
Nice.
did do it
Hi,
correctly.
Mary Johnson. I hadn't said hi to you.
Hi, Judy, where are you?
Well, on my screen, I'm at the top, but I have no
Oh, there
idea.
you are.
I'm wearing pumpkin orange for October.
You were down at the bottom a minute ago.
All right,
Judy, you can wear a sweater today. Today's gonna be 85, and I was gonna take out my Halloween
I was
sweater.
gonna say, I'm wearing
No
short
way.
sleeves right now and a V-neck, but
I've got a sweater on.
It's not 85 here.
I have two sweaters on. And outside right now, well, I don't know what's doing outside right now, but at 5:30 this morning, it was 38 degrees.
Oh,
It was a little
my. No, it's
chilly
not
here.
that.
okay,
No.
sisters, let's connect back. I got to stop in most of the rooms. One step that we forgot, remember whenever you're going to move something over from a Microsoft Office platform into the Google platform, you always start in Google into the folder that you want to move it to with the plus sign. You don't start with the other platform trying to do it that way. That's a little more complicated. It's much easier doing it that way. And one more share on the PowerPoint. Remember, just like you did in Word documents and forms, if you're going to share so that others can work with you, you would add them here. And then down here, you have to change the protocol so that you can determine what type of shared work you're going to do with them. If they're going to have access to changing and fixing, you need to change it to editor. If they're just going to say, oh, I like it, looks good, or change this slide, you can make them a commenter. Totally up to you on how you do that. And again, my preference is not just to send the link, but I like to import the URL, the link to this document in a normal email that they're used to seeing. And I just say, click here, blah, blah, blah. That takes a few more steps. You don't have to do it that way. You can just share it this way by putting their name right there and it'll go right to them. Okay. With a little message. All right. So let's talk about sheets now. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. I'm going to get you dizzy. All right. So again, I'm going to go to a new tab because that's just my preference. I'm going to go to my waffle. We talked about sheets are the Excel wannabes. If you've never done Excel, I know this is a little overwhelming. And I am not an Excel girl in the fact that I can get it to work and I can get it to do some functions, but I'm not perfection on this at all. But there's all the same kinds of buttons and strategies that you can use on a spreadsheet and the same kind of menu that you would do. You can take this and go backwards and move it back into Excel. You could save it if you didn't want people playing with your numbers. If you're Christy Smith and you want to just share a report, you could make it a PDF and share it that way so that people can view it. You can import it into other things. And the same way goes is if you want to take an Excel spreadsheet and share it with multiple people, you would do the same thing by going to your drive. Sorry, you're in the way. Oops. Are you who's laughing at me? Pick the folder that you want. And just the same way, you go to new and then you go and you do a file upload and you pick the Excel spreadsheet that you now want to put in a shared folder or to share with other people to work on it, and it naturally converts it into Google Sheets. That's it for me on Google Sheets. Same thing. If you're going to share it, you got to do the share button, change the protocols, blah, blah, blah. Any questions on Sheets? Awesome. So I want to share a request with you. I got an email from Marge, our little Ontario sister in Canada. And she said, Phyllis, I started a thread about Google and sharing all of the Ontario materials that they created for Google 101. And some of those I have shared with you, and some of those I've held on to share with you when we covered that information. And so what she's asking us to do is to also engage with this. So it's under the discussion tab. We just received, if you're still connected to the 80K connection thread, we just received a notification of it yesterday. And it says Google training for beginners. She wanted you to engage on what you've been learning, how you are becoming a Google sister and what you've learned and what you're able to do, and be supports with one another. Now, when I say that, I have shared videos of our slips. Yeah, we're recording. I have shared videos of our trainings with just this group. And I would like it to just remain our videos. Lots of you have taken lots of risks and been very, very vulnerable during these sessions. And I appreciate that. And we have built a circle of trust with this group to help one another. And so I do not think it's appropriate at all to put the videos I've done out on that platform, nor do I think it's appropriate to share with others who may need some Google support. Just because it has your faces, it has you struggling, it has you succeeding a whole lot. I just don't want anyone to feel that that circle of trust was broken by sharing those videos. Remember, if someone reaches out to you and says, how do I do that? You can say, you can always Google it. There's lots of YouTube videos out there. I'd be willing to jump on Zoom and help you. I know that there's other sisters. I know Ontario sisters have a wealth of, they did them in slides. There's slides out there that are resources to help you with that sort of thing. But I just wanted you to engage in that post and talk about your journey with Google and what you've learned and how you've learned it. Because she asked us to do that and to spread the knowledge around, but not to share those videos. Is there any other comments about that topic?
Thank
Ready
you
to
for
go?
not, thank you for doing that.
I totally agree, Phyllis, because of the level of trust that we have built. Thank you.
And know that our circle of trust goes on, and that we've already talked about that we would support one another. I just don't know what to do. Charlene was sharing when I got to her group, they'd already done the work and they were talking about shared folders, and that you have to make sure when you import things on PowerPoint that it becomes a shared document, like we just went over, those sort of things. So know that our circle of trust continues, that we're going to continue to help one another and support each other. It's just not for public dissemination to know that. It's okay to say you are part of this group. It's okay to talk about this group and that we love this group and that it was a great help, blah, blah, blah. I just don't think it's appropriate to go beyond that. Make sense? Okay, thank you. All right, ladies. We talked about that we would talk about the profile and changing your profile. So let me show you how to do that. All right. Closing that. So I'm going to go to a clean tab. Remember, you don't have to do that. That's just my preference. So to change your profile, you're going to go up to this upper circle. See how I have one here and I have one here? And you're going to click that. And when you click that, you see that famous editing pencil, in which you click that, and that's going to let you change what your profile looks like. And the first question is the name of your Chrome profile. Now it's still going to be Phyllis or PM Robinette teacher at gmail.com because that's how it's registered with Google. But this is more for a menu. So let me click that one more time and show you the menu on the side here. When you have multiple people using the same computer who have multiple Gmails, and this is particularly important when you're in the classroom setting, is we always talk about you need to be in your profile because everything you do is saved to that profile that is logged on currently. So if there was more than me on here, I click the second one and my husband was on, for example, I would have to click my name down below to switch to my Google account so that everything I do is created in my Google. So my husband's not a Google guy. He's been eavesdropping at times when he's feeling good. He's not this morning. He's in a dark room. So, but he's been listening a little bit. He's like, do you think I can learn that? And I'm like, yeah, sort of thing. But if you have multiple users, that's how you switch them. So let's go back and remember how I push this upper button up here to change my profile. So I just gave it my name, my little nickname, Phyllis, whatever, it could be something else. And then I pick a theme. The theme color is the background kind of on my tabs, kind of in the background knowledge. And I pick this light ADK grayish purple is what I picked, but I could easily, if you look up at my tabs up here, pick something dark. See how it changes that? So it's whatever your eyes want. This is that's to change it to a custom. I think the default is the blues usually, but I like this one. It's just a light little hue of lavender for me. And then if you scroll down, it says, do you want an avatar? But your button would be blank there and it said upload a photo. So to do that, you would click that and then it's going to prompt you to pick a photo and you would pick that as your photo. And you just do the same thing that you upload it and put it in there. Remember how you uploaded files and documents? You just go through that step and then you'll click save and that's how you do it. One more thing about your settings in your profile. I think it was appearances. You can change your fonts. So I have my font because of my old eyes, I like to say, on a large font so that I can see them better. So anytime I'm doing anything in Google, Gmail, and typing in anything, it's when it comes in, it's going to look large to me. I could go even bigger. I also changed the font to my favorite font. That's my favorite font. And you can change other ones that do other things, but the standard one is my favorite one. And this is how you change your search engine so it always defaults to Google. There's other choices, but I want whenever I load something for it to go to Google. All of this was under appearance. All right. Any questions on adding your photo?
I got a question, Phyllis. When I touched my photo, I am not seeing the same kinds of things you are. I've got my Google account. I got home, personal info, data and privacy, security, people and sharing, and payments and subscriptions. I don't have the settings and that sort of thing. Maybe I've
That's-
done the wrong thing.
Why don't you share your screen and let's walk through it for a couple minutes and see.
Well, because I'm looking at it on my computer and I'm using my phone for the meeting.
Okay. You can't share your screen?
I can't share my screen.
Okay. Well, you can hop on with another sister at a later time if you could ever get your Zoom camera to work,
Yeah,
and then
that's the
maybe
problem.
try it
Yeah.
that way.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
It's hard for me to know exactly where you're clicking.
I know.
Could you turn your phone around to show the screen on your computer?
I don't know if that's going to help. Does that help?
Too blurry.
No, it's a little blurry unless you get closer. I don't know. No, not great.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all
Something's
right.
wrong with my computer. You know, the camera won't work. So I have to use either my tablet or my phone for my Zoom meetings because I don't want to miss them or just hear the meeting and not being able to see things. So anyway, but I'll do that, Phyllis. Thank you so much.
I still want you to Google search how to fix your computer camera, and that'll give you some ideas.
Right. Right.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, sisters. Well, I must say we're finished early today. That makes up for the last two that I've gone over a little bit. So I am happy to stay after to answer any questions, but you should be able now to attend all those international meetings and be prepared and access those shared documents and organize yourself so you are never lost again. If you get stuck, you're going to Google, then you're going to ask a sister, and then last you can check with me and see if we can give you some support. But I am very proud of you for taking this challenge. And I know how far you've come. I remember that very first day and I said a word like toggle and you're like, what? And I said, minimize your Zoom and you're like, what? And I said, share the screen and you said, what? So I am very proud of how far you've come. You guys are doing a great job. All right. I will say goodbye to those who want to check off. And anybody who wants to stay after to ask questions, I'm happy to do that with you. And I'm going to stop sharing or stop recording.